Hello, this is the trade site Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 1st of February 2015 and ending Friday, the 6th of February. Super Bowl Sunday will be the start of the week. Hope you had a good week before this. And actually, it wasn't a very exciting week. This is one of the choppiest weeks I've seen in a while. We had some days with really poor ranges, and then some days where choppy early action in the European session, and then moves later on at awkward times. So I really wasn't a big fan of this week. It was one of the slower weeks we've seen in Forex in a while. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. You can almost see the last 5 days really didn't go anywhere. It's the first time in a while that it's been that kind of flat and narrowing as the week wore on. Let's take a look at some of the key pairs and their daily charts. There's the euro dollar, also flat, no surprise. Here's the pound dollar, been flat for a couple of weeks at this point. Still trying to hold that risk line from the 13 buy signal that we got 2 weeks ago. Here's the Aussie dollar, actually made new lows finally. Here's the New Zealand dollar, also made new lows. Here's the pound yen, didn't do much either. So not much to say from that perspective. Let's take a look at the 30-minute bars and the action that we saw intra-week here. Here's the euro dollar to start with. Had a full 5 days this week as opposed to the prior week. You can see we started out the week with a little gap down, came back up and filled that. Monday ended up closing about flat. Tuesday pushed a little higher, and then it's just been really flat ever since then, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Haven't seen this for a while, but you're basically 3 days you were stuck in 100 pip range. Total range for the week was 300 pips or so, but again, Monday and Tuesday was that range. The rest of the week was pretty flat. And then let's look at the pound in 30-minute bars. Scoot that over. You can see the pound didn't open with the gap down, and then did move up Monday and Tuesday just like the euro. Flat Wednesday. The move came in a weird time Thursday, unfortunately, because it stopped us out before it then went to work, and Friday was back and forth again. So not my favorite week in Forex for sure. Not really anything consistent, and no patterns that really worked out the way they usually do. So let's look at the data coming up this week. Remember, we did have a Fed meeting this last week. That didn't have any impact on the Forex market, really. So that's behind us. All the key earnings for this first or the fourth quarter behind us. And the first look at Q4 GDP is behind us. So what do we have going forward here as we enter February already, the second month of 2015? Again, you're going to start the week with Super Bowl Sunday. We've got the world to be focused on that, I'm sure. We've got AIG Manufacturing Index out of Australia Sunday night, final manufacturing PMI out of Japan, HSBC final manufacturing PMI out of China. Going into Monday, commodity prices out of Australia, Spanish unemployment and manufacturing PMI, same thing out of Switzerland, same thing out of Italy, same thing out of the broad European sector, and then the same thing out of the UK. So all spaced over the course of 2 hours or so. We've got PCE price index, personal income and spending here in the US, the ISM manufacturing PMI data also, and then construction spending, monetary base out of Japan. So we jump to Monday night after that. New Zealand's ANZ commodity prices, building approvals and trade balance, and the Bank of Australia rate announcement all Monday evening here in the US. 10-year bond auction out of Japan, trade balance out of Switzerland, construction PMI out of the UK, Italian preliminary CPI and PPI out of Europe, RMPI, IPPI out of Canada, GDT price index out of New Zealand. We've got factory orders, IBD, economic optimism data. Some point the vehicle sales come out here in the US. This is all on Tuesday. Jumping to Tuesday even, New Zealand's got their unemployment data. That's the employment change, labor cost index, everything thrown in. AIG services index out of Australia. Cash earnings out of Japan, HSBC services PMI out of China. Going into Wednesday, the services PMI data out of Spain, Italy, the broad European sector, and the UK, so they line that one up as well. Retail sales out of Europe, US ADP non-farm employment change, final services PMI, non-manufacturing PMI, crude oil inventories, that's a weekly number here. Jump ahead 9 hours to retail sales out of Australia, the 30-year bond auction out of Japan. Swiss has the SECO consumer climate data, German factory orders, retail PMI, French 10-year bond auction. This is all on Thursday. The rate announcement out of the Bank of England. Jumping to the U.S., Challenger job cuts, trade balance. That's one of our big three each month, so that'll be half size ahead of that going into Thursday, Wednesday night going into Thursday. The weekly unemployment claims data preliminary non-farm productivity and unit labor costs. Natty gas. New Zealand goes on bank holiday for Friday. AIG construction index. Australia's monetary policy statement. Japan leading indicators data. German industrial production. French budgets and trade balance. Switzerland's foreign currency reserves and retail sales. UK's trade balance. And then our monthly unemployment data. So that's another one of our big three here in the U.S. So we'll be half size going into Thursday and going into Friday. Don't like to trade full size ahead of the big numbers. Tend to have the market wait for those numbers and then spike. And we're not here to trade on news. So two of our big three numbers are the first week of February here. That'll just leave the CPI for later in the month. No Fed meeting this month because we just got done with it. There's 6 weeks between, so the rest of the month should be free and clear when we get these two out of the way. It'll be interesting to see what we get. Hopefully the ranges hold up and trade a little more technically than what we saw this last week. Everybody have a great week and weekend. We'll be in the lab helping you make money as usual. Charts brought to you by eSignal.